Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Aaron Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Alrighty, welcome into a beautiful, pretty chilly day, but I personally like the cold weather, so I'm good with it. But chilly New Year's Eve here on December 31st, last day of 2025. It's crazy, Tommy.
It's flown by.
We got here fast.
It's flown by. I mean, we started, in July?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's flown by. The season has flown by, it seems. And, I guess when you're winning it does fly by. Last year, it felt like it dragged on forever.
We were like, oh, man, we still have 5 games left.
Yeah, right. Let's get it over with. But, no, winning will do it. But, yeah, Happy New Year to everybody out there. You know, it's always a great time to to reset, and I know it's like just the next day, you know, it's next year, but you get to reset. You can set some new goals. You can set some new objectives, personally, professionally, whatever, maybe just for yourself. And it's just a great time of year, man. So I always love this time. And I agree on the weather. A little sun. I like this sun.
Yeah. When it's sunny and chilly, it feels great.
Especially in the morning.
Oh, yeah,
get up early.
Yes. Lauren's out today, so you and I will talk to E.T. in a little bit. He's going to tell us where he is this afternoon, so you have another chance to get some tickets for this weekend as the Jaguars look to clinch the division against the Tennessee Titans. And the Tennessee Titans have been the ruiner here before, and they'd probably love to do it again, to be completely honest with you. So we'll see where ET is in just a little bit, chat with him so you guys can go find him around town. And also a reminder, keep listening, because for the rest of today and Friday, we will still be giving away tickets with the Blitz the Bank liner. So tune in to all the shows from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. We'll be giving away tickets today and Friday for that. And we also have something special coming up on social media tomorrow for those of you who may have not been able to listen throughout the days. I know you have jobs and other things going on, so maybe it wasn't as easy for you. And so we'll have another opportunity. So just kind of pay attention to our social media channels tomorrow for another chance to win tickets. But we have a lot to give away, and ET will join us in a minute to chat about that. Tommy, are you a New Year's resolution type of person? Do you set resolutions?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, I just, I may, diet-wise, just not diet, but change, make sure I'm not, even today.
Like the Diet Coke.
Yeah. Even today, I had a couple cookies after my sandwich, during lunch. Normally I don't do that. I let myself go a little bit, but, I'll probably just tighten that up. Other than that, no. I mean, I'm just trying to keep getting better and doing what I'm doing and, staying fit as best I can. I'm going to be another year older. I'm going from 55 to Lawrence Taylor, so maybe, 56 would be a good number. But no New Year's resolutions. How about you? Do you write them down?
I've never been like here's a list of resolutions. I do have more so like internal thoughts at the beginning of the year. I want to get better at this, or this is something that I want to try. Like a lot of times it's more stuff like that for me. Because I think that especially in this industry, it's really good to make yourself uncomfortable sometimes and try new things. And Rick Ballou was one of the ones that told me this very early on when I started trying to be on air was if you're not getting those butterflies still when you're sitting down to talk about it, then you're probably not doing it right, because it's something that you love. It's something you enjoy. So you should have that excitement, and you should still get a little nervous because you're talking to a lot of people and you have those moments. And so that's always kind of resonated with me. So anytime I feel like we're kind of getting into autopilot or things are slowing down, I'm like, let me try something new and spice things up a little bit. See what can make me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it challenges a bit, and you should do that. And look, in this profession, it's the more experience you get, the better off you should be, and then interviewing different people, doing different things. I'm more of like I'll write stuff down. Like I have projects, I call them, that I want to accomplish, so I have those written down. I've got a new idea that I came up with, so not ready to share it yet, but it centers around music and music heals. So think of it that way, and should be pretty cool. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the new year. But prior to that, I'm just looking forward to the Jags playoff run.
We have more football.
I know, I can't. It's just great. Football going on right now with the bowl games. Iowa and Vandy going at it.
Yep, Iowa 14-3 right now.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I think that one ended, wasn't it?
Oh, is that an old one?
I don't know. I was looking
replay,
earlier.
I tell you what, I mean, not to throw salt in wounds around here, but the SEC getting their butt kicked in the bowl games. Jeez.
Let's say hey to ET, find out where he is. Speaking of more football, giving a chance to some of the listeners to get out there this weekend. ET, what's going on? How are we doing out there?
Tater, what the business is, girl. Tommy Matt, what's happening?
What's up, E to the T? How you doing?
I'm just out here spreading this Christmas cheer as we prepare to blitz the bank this Sunday.
Come on, man. Absolutely. That's got to be fun for you, E, just going out there. I know you love meeting all the fans. I see all your videos running around the stadium on game day and all that. You love that kind of stuff.
I do. I love just being amongst the people, especially like when the city is like when the Jags are winning. It just puts a different energy into the city.
Yep.
And it's beautiful to see everybody want to come to the game. And we're trying to make that happen because you know what they say, if it's free, it's for me.
That's right.
How much just Jags gear are you seeing from the people that are finding you, E?
Man, it's all type of Jags gear from the infants all the way to the elderly, and it's beautiful. Everybody drinking that teal water, and I love it.
Yeah,
I do
see
too.
it all over. It's
beautiful.
so great.
So, E.T., we've been doing this all week. You've been going around different places around town, giving away tickets. And so tell us a little bit about today. Where are you right now, and what are the expectations of how many you will be giving out so we know what people can expect?
So yesterday we started out, we went to the town center. Then we took it to the north. We went to River City Marketplace. Mm-hmm. This morning we were in the Avenue. So it's only right that I hit up my side of town and head to Orange Park. I'm headed to the Orange Park Mall. Actually, I'm going to be in the Orange Park Mall a little bit after we get off this phone. Don't come to the bus. Come inside and find me, because coming to the bus, that's too easy. Come inside and find me, and I got about 10, maybe 12 tickets to give away.
All right.
That is.
Do you give away hints for where in the mall, or they just got to spot you out? It's like a Where's Waldo, but where's E.T.?
That's exactly what it is. I'll sit down. I might be in a food court. I might be in Victoria's Secret buying something for my lady friend. You just never know.
That's where you should be. No doubt about it. No doubt. Well, that's great, man. Giving all those tickets away, man. Listen, it's a special time of the year, special time for our Jags, and getting ready to clinch that division, man. That's huge.
Absolutely, and it's not just tickets that I'm giving away because, unfortunately, I only got so many pairs. So I got a lot of Jag swag to give away, too. So it's just a beautiful time in the city. I'm just glad glad to be a part of this promotion.
All right.
Yeah, we are too, E.T. And I know that you and I talked a lot this morning about just how fun it is right now in the city and how, you said you've been swarmed. Every place you've gone around the city, people are coming up and they're finding you very quickly. So keep that in mind, people. Head out to Orange Park Mall. Try and find E.T. People will get to you fast, E. So I'm guessing it's almost a race to get in those doors and find you.
It is. Like, I won't be there for a couple of hours, because, the tickets go fast. And once I'm out, I'm out.
All right, E. Well, we appreciate you calling in.
Yeah,
everybody head over to the Orange Park Mall, find E.T., get those tickets, or get some Jag swag. We have a lot of stuff that the Jaguars have given him, including I saw some pretty cool rookie draft posters with all the rookies from this year.
Nice.
So that looks pretty cool. Several things that he has out there. I also wanted to remind people, because I've been getting emails all day, so multiple ways to do this. We will be playing that liner, the Blitz the Bank liner, throughout all day today, all day Friday. It's not going to be running tomorrow just because we want to make sure that you can celebrate your New Year's Day, and we won't be in the building tomorrow. But for today and Friday, listen for that liner, text in the word Blitz, and you have a chance to win through that. Also, go find E.T. He'll be out at Orange Park Mall right now. On Friday, we'll have another location we'll announce Friday morning. But also, head over to Ticketmaster.com, too. Yep. They still have plenty of tickets. Let's pack the bank. It's Prowler time. Everybody's going to be in teal. You can clinch the division. This is one of the more meaningful games we've had here in Jacksonville in a long time.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, if you can swing it, right? If you can't swing it, then you can't swing it. But if you can, you're going to make a memory of a lifetime. There's no doubt about it. We haven't done this in a very long time. And I know as a former player playing in front of that crowd, there's nothing better when it's filled with our fans just going crazy and yelling and screaming. There's nothing like it. And as a player, and coaches too, just people on the field, man, they thrive off that. So if you can do it, man, this is a time to look. They've earned this whole thing. And now it's our time to shine as a team, as a city, as a fan base, everything. It's our time. It's right here for us. So let's show up and show our appreciation. It's still kind of holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to celebrate the new year, and this is a fantastic year by our Jacksonville Jaguars. So I know my oldest is going south for New Year's, so Avery won't be back. But 4 of us are going, and we're going to have a great time. I can't wait to rock the bank and pack the bank and kick the living crap out of the Titans. That's what's going to happen.
I love it. It always takes me back to 2017 because I just remember the vibes during that time. Anywhere you went, if you were at the stadium watching a game, I was out at the beach for one of the games watching, I want to say the Steelers game. There was a big group out there watching it. Obviously, the Bills game. I went to the game here and then went up to Boston for the AFC Championship game. And the amount of Jags fans that were even up there for that. I mean, there was a restaurant where there was only black and teal in this one restaurant on right in Foxborough, right by the stadium, and like the little Gillette, whatever they call it. I forget what it's called. But it was, so it's so cool. And it's like this is one of the most loyal fan bases. And you've said it before too, Tommy, about how they're football smart too. Like this city loves football so much and they're invested in everything. That's why there's been frustrations, because they understand the kind of expectations that you have when you understand the game of football and know that you shouldn't be missing tackles and shouldn't be doing these sort of things that we've seen in previous years. And so it's fun to watch that.
Jaguar fans and just football fans in Jacksonville as well, they appreciate good football, and they know what good football is. It's not rocket science. I would say that all the time. I mean, you may not know coverage, you may not know play calls and all that, but you watch the game. If you can understand, the 4-down rule, why it is, you can figure the whole thing out. But we're a fan base that appreciates that, really tough, physical, mistake-free, not hurting ourselves, being in great condition, being physical, being just a really good football team. They appreciate good football. And look, it's like a family, like when they don't do well, you critique them. You're hard on them, just like you are your family. And then when they do well, you're like, oh, this is fantastic.
The biggest supporter.
No doubt.
Yeah, and if somebody else messes with them, you're also the biggest supporter.
Yeah, even when you're down on them. Yeah, even when you're down. No, I can say that, but you can't say that. That's for sure.
Exactly. All right. So just a reminder, E.T. will be out at the Orange Park Mall. We don't know exactly where, but you have to go find him. He has 10 to 12 tickets. 10 to 12 pairs of tickets he'll be giving away. So head out there and get those free tickets. If not, head over to Ticketmaster.com. We have a few links on our pages too that you can go and get to the game this weekend, support the Jacksonville Jaguars, and wear those prowlers, and the teal support the team. But let's talk some Jags on the other side. There's a lot of things. I saw an interesting graphic that I wanted to chat with you about kind of labels of the playoff teams right now. So we'll get into some of that. That's coming up next here on Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's a great get-together after the game. Hacker Leon and Coach Gerald Ingram bring you the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Live from Hurricane Grill and Wings, San Marco. Nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting on 1010XL.
Blitz.
How good is that? How good is that?
Bang.
How good is that?
Text Blitz to 641-1010 now.
Finding the right plumber to reline your cast iron pipes doesn't have to be a stressful experience. When you hire Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, you can rest assured you're getting the best in the industry. At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we're so confident in our work that we encourage you to get multiple estimates. Look at each company's reviews and check the scope of their pipelining work to make sure it's what you're expecting. But at the end of the day, make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjax.com.
From the Queen Law Group Studio.
Helmets and Heels.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
He flies under the radar.
You don't find this guy, he finds you.
Stealthy Hayes Carlyle.
Best thing I can do is point you in the direction of his competition.
Takes you behind enemy lines. Activated by Pella Windows and Doors. on 1010XL.
Bud Light and everyone at Anheuser-Busch want to remind you to get home safely every time. People are counting on you, on the road and at home. Plan ahead with safe rides, and don't forget to hydrate between beers. Bud Light encourages everyone to enjoy responsibly and socialize safely.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet wishes you and your family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. The holidays are in full swing at Nimnick Chevrolet. Right now, they've up to 20% off a new Silverado, or get financing rates as low as 0% on models including Silverado, Equinox, and Trailblazer during the Red Tag Sales event. Nimnick Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. So shop online 24/7 at NimnickChevy.com or visit the dealership at Park and Cabot. Who's got more new vehicles at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Ready to upgrade your home? It's Renewal by Anderson's 31-day sale. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires December 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
If you're listening to 1010 and you're a parent, chances are your kids are playing sports. Check out i9sports.com with spring and summer registration open right now. In the gym or on the field, and now at Tocoi Creek High School and Westside Middle. Check it out, i9sports.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl here, Tom McManus here, RJ Saunders here. Lauren is out today celebrating New Year's Eve, but I want to talk a little bit of Jags. Obviously, this is the hot topic right now, Tommy. There's going to be a lot of conversation about this game, but also moving forward into the postseason, into what this team, the longevity of what we feel like they've built. That's going to be probably a lot of our conversation in the offseason, and luckily we're not there yet because we're talking about the postseason. But I saw a graphic on Fox Sports where they were categorizing all of the different playoff teams right now, and they kind of had, I don't know if it's superlatives you would actually say, but they had kind of titles for each
Different
of what
tiers.
they felt. Yeah, and it was more so, they didn't even tier them. It was just like, here's the playoff teams right now. Here's what we think. Here's their name that we think kind of matches where they are right now as a team. And so on this graphic, they had the Jaguars listed as the dark horse. And I almost wanted to comment on it and be like, I don't think you can even label them the dark horse anymore because they've been playing really good football for 7 weeks, 7 good weeks of football. And even if you want to expand that throughout the season, when you talk about you almost feel like they only had a little bit of a downfall with that Seattle Rams week when they were losing in that. And aside from that, they've been playing good football. You have the game against the Chiefs and the way they played against the Niners. You had the blowout against the Chargers. You had all these games, to me, that more so show that they are a contender, and what they're doing right now is playing their best football, and you're seeing the quarterback get better and better week to week. And so it's interesting to me that they use that term for them, and I'm guessing maybe because they're saying, okay, well, preseason, this team wasn't expected to be a contender, and so maybe that's what it is. But I don't know if you can label the Jags a dark horse right now to win this, to go to the Super Bowl or win some playoff games because of how they've been playing.
I think Houston's more of a dark horse right now than the Jaguars. I mean, our Jags have really taken care of business. You know, and you go through their schedule. I mean, look, they've had some significant victories, and then they've had victories that, okay, you're supposed to beat those teams, but the way they beat them is eye-popping, you know, with the way they took care of the Jets, the way they took care of Tennessee, Indianapolis. I mean, they really got even the Chargers, 35-6. And by the way, Herbert's sitting because they don't want to face the Jags in the playoffs. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yeah.
They think there's ghosts there.
It's a mental thing.
They think there's ghosts there. They don't think they don't want to go to Jacksonville again and play the Jaguars in the first round of the playoffs. That's why they're sitting. They don't care if they win that ball game.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, because technically they do have stuff they could still play for with seeding, and that's a good point. I think that the Jags have kind of been that in the back of their heads. Even this last game, I remember coming in and everyone was like, the Chargers are a way better team. They should dominate the Jags, and that was kind of the conversation going into that game, and everybody was like, hold up, the Jags have had the Chargers number every time they faced the last few times, and then they've been able to handle it. Even when Trevor throws 4 picks, they won the game. And so I do think there is something, and it is mental for that team. And so when you go through some of these, when you talk about the AFC, obviously the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jags, the Steelers, the Texans, the Chargers, the Bills are the teams that are in there right now. The Baltimore Ravens do have a chance to get in this weekend if they beat Pittsburgh. So maybe, to me, and I guess they're not a playoff team right now, so you can't list them as a dark horse because they're not technically in the postseason, but they're also not out of it. So it is interesting. I just didn't know if that word for me completely connected with what it was, because I agree. I think the Houston Texans make more sense because the Houston Texans started terribly. Their offense looked dysfunctional. They couldn't get anything going. They couldn't run the ball. CJ didn't look good. Then he was hurt, and then it was Davis Mills. Then Davis wins a couple games, and everyone was like, hold on, wait, is Davis better than CJ Stroud? And those were the conversations, and then all of a sudden they've won 8 games at the end of the season to keep them into this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think they started 0-3, didn't they? I mean, they started off absolutely awful. So for them to be where they're at today, I would think that would qualify as kind of that dark horse. But maybe, like you said, going into the season, they had Houston over us. Yeah. And most national pundits did. I mean, they thought they would win the division and we'd fight for the second. I mean, Indianapolis surprised everybody until Daniel Jones got hurt. Yeah. I mean, they were they were darling of the AFC. Like, holy cow, look what they're doing. Yeah. Look at the production, look at the points and all that. And then, of course, it's gone south there. So, I think we've shown we have grown so much this year as far as learning how to win and taking care and coming back from adversity. I could see from not watching every week like we do, some national person looking at our schedule and being like, okay, look, they beat San Fran, but San Fran wasn't where they are today. They beat KC. KC's not very good. Houston came back from 19 points down. They're a good team, but so you could be a devil's advocate.
Oh, yeah.
But let's be honest. You don't win all these games by not being a good football team and the way you won them. But look, the reality is this. You're still going to face that quote-unquote disrespect until what? You win more than one playoff game. I mean, you got to win more than one this year if you really – now, you don't have to. I shouldn't say it like that. But, look, locally, we're excited as all get out. Yeah. Nationally, they're not ready for us maybe, but screw them. Who cares? We're coming anyway. It's funny, this whole small market thing. I don't really give a crap. There's a lot of – I mean, Green Bay's a tiny market. Yeah. What are you talking about? Makes no sense. But whatever, this team has shown that they're gritty, that they're going to fight, and that's what it's going to take in the playoffs. I've always felt like just get into the tournament. Then anything can happen. Now it's any given Sunday on steroids. Yeah. Now it's like this is true with any given Sunday. These teams are so close. The one mistake, it's going to be 3 or 4 or 5 plays that win the game. That's not always the case during the regular season. There's a lot of plays that win the game. But when you get to the playoffs, man, it's that tight. It's like those 1, 2, 3 to 5 plays that will what will determine the victorious team. So I don't know, man. I love the fact that it's all playing into the cards. And what Liam's preaching.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Just that we play better pissed off.
Yeah, or just that, it's disrespect and whatnot. I mean, look, you can only take that so far because the more you win, the more respect you're going to get. Yeah. And you will come, and it will come because that's how it works in sports. If you win, people take notice. If you lose, they're like, they're losers. They don't win. But when you do start taking off and winning, that's when they'll notice, and it'll continue. You just got to look, I think what they've done offensively and defensively, and the way they've changed things since they were not doing as good as they thought they were going to be with Seattle, with the Rams and whatnot, and then being a little clunky here. I mean, the Raiders game, you're lucky you didn't lose that game. You probably should have lost that game, but whatever. You did. Yeah. You won the football game, and that's all that matters. So at the end of the day, look, it's still us against the world. It's still us against everybody else. I love the T-shirt. Us against all y'all.
Yeah, Duval against,
that's the Duval against all y'all. And it's true. But you know what? That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Because think about it. Look, inside that locker room, it's special no matter what. But when you got a winning locker room and you know that people don't think, they're still questioning things, that just brings you tighter, makes you stronger, makes you more mad. Beast mentioned the Jaguar article.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that, waking up, and it wasn't one paper. There were papers all over the place, and everybody was reading it. And then Coughlin cut out a bunch and put it on, different parts of the locker room so we would see it. And it did tick us off. We were like, what? What are you talking about? I forget all these just derogatory names about us, and we're like, okay, well, we feel pretty good about ourselves. We went into Buffalo, nobody gave us a chance. They were undefeated at home in the playoffs forever. They were 9-0. We beat them by 3, but we beat them.
Yeah,
we only beat Denver by 3, right? So who cares? A win is a win, but nonetheless, that stuff can be really powerful, especially when you're confident that you can beat the team. That just adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah, and that's what the Jags have the best record against teams that are in the postseason right now. They're 5-1, so you can talk about the close games they played against the Raiders or the comeback that the Texans had against them, but you also have to address all of the playoff teams that they've been able to beat this season too, in that 5-1 record. And so I think that's a conversation. It was something that I was thinking about last night with Trevor Lawrence and what has happened this season in this last half of we've talked about it a ton of what's gotten better and why we're impressed and the things that he's kind of adjusted to and the mechanical stuff and the footwork and all of that. But I was thinking, you go back to 2022, and that season started not good. They ended up going on that run at the end and winning football games when it mattered, gets them into the postseason. You have a comeback win against the Chargers, and it was kind of that moment of, I almost feel like sometimes Trevor needs that of, it's time to win, I've got to win moment, and you've seen that in him a few times. It's settled out a little bit recently. He's gone up early, and the Jags have had a lead more frequently than we had seen previously. But the 2 seasons after that, when he gets injured, and you talk about in 2023 when he played, but he was hurt every week. He was barely practicing throughout any of those practices in the last month in December. And so things were off. It just didn't feel like the offense was clicking. It felt like Trevor was regressing. There was a lot of those type of issues. Last year, Trevor obviously gets hurt, gets a concussion. He misses a lot of December, gets shut down for December. And then you get Mac Jones in here. And I wonder just how much that we're seeing this spark of Trevor turn on because he's there. He's available. In the last 2 years, he hasn't been in December to try and win football games and have that. And he's not saying, because coaching staff obviously has factored into this year in some wins. But do you win 3 more games last year if Trevor's playing in December and you feel like he has to win something? And do you see a little bit more of a development from him if that happens? Because it's 2 months of football now, both Decembers, the last 2 years where he hasn't practiced.
Yeah. Well, I think this year he's really turned the corner.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, he's not making the mistakes that he was making. I remember earlier this year, maybe it was early in the season or during camp, I didn't feel like Trevor has shown that he can take over the offense. He's shown that this year.
Yeah, he has.
He has. Now, that doesn't mean the running game hasn't helped him, the O-line hasn't helped him, and everybody, Jacoby and everybody hasn't helped him. But
the second half.
With the way, with the way that he is now playing, he's running defiantly. There's a difference. When he got hit by Shire, that wasn't a defiant run. That was like don't hit me almost. You know what I mean?
He's also not sliding like that anymore.
No, exactly right. He's more diving forward.
Yeah.
He's using his length, his body. He's so tough. I mean, he really is a tough hombre. He got drilled a few times last week and still made the throw, knowing he's going to get killed. And we love that as teammates, man. We'll fight for that guy on the field, off the field, for anything if he's going to play like that for us. But I just think this year, because think about it, in years past, you could say the injuries, and that's valid. I get that. But the throws were off. You know, even his completions were a little off. Yeah, the guys had to make almost great catches almost on
But that's what
routines.
I'm wondering, how much was development hindered when you're not playing a month of football, when it's like, especially I think after the 2022 season, when you were seeing that at the end of 22 and into the postseason, you were seeing what you felt like was a trajectory. You were seeing him get better, and then all of a sudden everything kind of fell back in the next season. I think there's a lot of factors. I think the offensive line sucked. You couldn't run the ball well. The coaching was bad. But I just wonder, because you've seen other quarterbacks who take a little, if they have injuries, if they're those guys that suffer with injuries and you're not at practice every day throwing to your receivers on a consistent basis, how much does that backtrack some of the progress that maybe you had made before that?
Let me throw this question at you. Trevor was when he did the press conference after the Liam got hired about the footwork.
Yeah.
How did Liam get that?
By watching
tape.
Yeah.
So the games that he did play, that's what pointed. That's what like stood out there, because that was the first thing Trev said.
Yeah.
So they talked about it.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing what you're saying. Like it's hard to play if you're not practicing at quarterback. There's no doubt about that. The rhythm, the timing, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's even deeper than that, and that's how they fixed them. And what you hear all season long is that all these assistant coaches that are working with Trevor, they're just making sure that those mechanics, the footwork, the pre-snap. I tell you what's incredible. That's the one of the best growths that I've seen out of him is when Liam says, he'll make a check, and it's not even in the call. He's doing it on his own. And you see Liam light up because he's like,
yes,
that's what a quarterback does. That's what you do. That's what the good ones do. And it's working for Trevor. So, look, all of that is fantastic.
Fun to watch. Fun to watch.
And I will say, look, the only sliver of just holding on and waiting to see what happens is 2022.
Yeah.
Doug's offense got those guys open a ton. And Trev delivered it, especially on that run. He was playing some outstanding football. He was running more. He was throwing better. And then the next year, I felt like San Diego almost figured him out. The first half, all they did was sit on those first routes, because what was Trev doing? Hit the first route.
Yeah.
It was the first read. He wasn't going.
We heard that a ton. I would like to see the breakdown. Maybe I can find that. The breakdown of those first read. Because I remember even the first 7 weeks. You even had stats on it, yeah. Even in the first 7 weeks, he had the highest amount of first read throws, and his completion percentage was like 52% on that, because people had figured it out. So I'm interested. I wonder if I can find that and go and see what it's been in the last, let's say, 7 weeks. Because I would guess drastically different because of the way he's been spreading the ball around and just his knowledge and what you feel like him grasping this offense. But we do have to hit break. We have Herm Edwards coming on the other side. We're going to talk a little bit more Jaguars and also get into the AFC South, some other NFL, a lot of hot topics for this weekend. So we'll do that next, coming up here on Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Green Law Group Studios.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Cersei here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. You have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at bariorthopedics.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Just recently, Cam Little was good from 68 yards to set an NFL field goal record. You know who else goes the distance? The team at Coil Fencing. Coil is A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau and has been serving the Jacksonville community for nearly 100 years. From sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love to tough chain link for your commercial project. Coil does it all. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Monahan Jewelers is ending the year with up to 40% off the entire store. Special savings on designer brands and some items marked at 50 to 60% off. We've been adding new merchandise throughout the holidays, and with interest-free financing on any purchase, it's easy to get a beautiful piece for a low monthly payment. Certified diamonds and engagement rings are our specialty. Support your local family jeweler for 48 years. It's our end-of-the-year sale with up to 40% off our entire inventory and some items marked at 50 to 60% off. Visit Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass. They say you're going to see a big difference, but what does that really mean? It means a live local person on the phone, a smooth, easy process, skilled craftsmen, and excellent customer service all around, with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right, welcome back to Helmets and Heels here on 92.5 FM and 1010XL. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus here, getting you ready for New Year's Eve. And Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Looking forward to watching our Jags this Sunday going and winning that AFC South Division title. Can't wait to be out there. Hope you can all make it too. Make sure you stay tuned to 1010XL all throughout the day and try to win some free tickets. We are being joined right now by a legend, former player, former coach, ESPN analyst, and one of the guys that gave me a fitness tip way back when. Let's welcome in Coach Herman Edwards. Herm, welcome to Helmets and Heels with Tom McManus and Taylor Dahl. How are you, my friend?
I am well, and you mentioned the Jacksonville Jaguars, and obviously they're playing outstanding football right now, and it goes to show you that coaching matters. When you watch how Trevor Lawrence has played this year, it's been kind of fun to see. You know, this is a guy they drafted a while back, and they were hoping he was going to be a player of that ilk, and obviously he's shown that this season. They've been playing really, really good.
Hey, Coach, the rhetoric around here is that the Jaguars have no respect out there. You see it changing a little bit. Winning helps with that. But how do you feel from a national perspective looking at our Jaguars? How do you think everyone's feeling about our team right now?
Well, as you said, you know, when this team came about in Jacksonville, I can remember, I think I was in Tampa in them days. And I was like, what, they're putting a team in Jacksonville? Really? And everybody, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And they were pretty good back in the day. Yep. Mark Burnell and those guys. I remember those guys, right? And And then they kind of fell by the wayside, and now all of a sudden they're starting to get talked about, and rightly so, because they're a good football team. And they're playing they're playing in a division where the Houston Texans are also very good. These two teams, Jaguars won 7 in a row, Houston's won 8 in a row. So two really good teams in that division.
Yeah, and we've talked about that a lot when the Houston Texans winning 8 straight, the Jaguars winning 7 straight, and it's coming down to this final weekend of who is winning the AFC South, which clearly you here in Jacksonville, you just say beat the Titans and you've got it. Don't worry about anything else. But when you talk, Herm, about what Trevor Lawrence has done, especially in this last 7 weeks or so, and the progress, one of the first things Liam Cohen said when he came here was the mechanical stuff and the footwork and how he needed to change that. Trevor spoke on it very early. And you're seeing the outcome of that and how much it's improved. But for you, what have you seen? What has he gotten best at from last year to this year in your eyes?
Well, he extends the plays, and look, the guy is as big as Josh Allen, and why wouldn't he run? And now he's running more. That when you have quarterbacks, and I know this being a defensive player, being a defensive coach, when the quarterback can extend plays, and the worst thing, not only do they extend, but when they run. That's a problem. That is a problem. Every time, there's a call defensively, you got to make sure somebody's going to spy the quarterback when he takes off and runs. Now, problem with him, like Josh Allen, he's so big and strong, everybody can't tackle a guy one-on-one. And that becomes the next problem. So he's added that to his game, and that's really enhanced everything about his ability to play quarterback.
Herm, you mentioned coaching making a difference, no question about it. Bringing in the right guys with the right attitude is also part of the equation. My former teammate, Tony Baselli, of course, leading that, James Gladstone. But you know as well as anybody, you got to have the match. You got to have that coach with the way he coaches and those players that respond positively to that style of coaching.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I always say, the coaches that generally are successful, they have a good rapport with their players. They can communicate well. But they also make sure that the system that they choose to use, multiple, where you can tweak it some to the players you have. Because when you run a system where the players cannot be successful, then you got a problem. You got a problem with the players, and then you got a problem with your system. And I think when you're able to do that, everybody wins.
When you look at the other team in the AFC South who is competing for that top spot in the Texans, I mentioned a second ago, winning 8 straight. We knew their defense from the beginning of the year has been really good. They've been one of the better defenses from the start, but their offense looked very dysfunctional in the beginning. That's started to look better. For you, what do you think is the biggest challenge for someone facing the Houston Texans in the playoffs?
You can't score points.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Last time I checked, it's a scoring game. Did you see the 49ers in Chicago? Now, that set defenses back for 100 years, those defenses. They scored 90 points total, but they don't allow you to score. It's hard. And what happens when you play a defense like this, you get antsy as a quarterback, and you start trying to make things happen, and that's when you get what they give you, knowing that in the first half it might be 3-3. And you got to go, okay, it's 3-3. But what you can't do is start becoming risky with the ball and trying to make things happen. That's when you start turning the ball over. This is why they have a good turnover ratio. They're plus 14 in takeaways, So this is a team that doesn't allow a lot of points. You know that. Now, they don't sack the quarterback a lot. I mean, only 40 sacks plus. But, it's not like they sack him a lot, but they play really good, outstanding defense. And, their offense is open. Defense. That's their calling card, is their defense.
Herm Edwards here with us on Helmets and Heels on 92.5 FM. How about our Jaguar defense, Coach? Actually, my friend Aaron Beasley, who's also a guest on the show, he texted us in. He said, ask Herm how he feels about the Jaguars' takeovers, man. They were doing a great job taking the ball, takeaways, taking the ball away from the opponent.
And that's what it is, defensively. You steal some possessions for your offense. And then when you're in an offense that's capable now of moving the football, that even they're doing. They're taking the ball away, and that's it's one thing to go 3 and out. It's another thing when you take the ball away. Yep. When you take the ball away from the opponent, it takes life out of them. Mm-hmm. They're going, man, really took another. I always used to say when you're on offense, the only way the opponent gets the ball is if you kick it to them. You always want to kick it to them. You kick off after a touchdown, you punt it, or you kick, a 3-point field goal. But just kick it. They shouldn't get the ball any other way. When you start fumbling and throwing interceptions, it always ends up bad, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. And we talked about that. The good thing, too, those takeaways, they're also scoring off the takeaways, which has been huge. They have the most points scored off of takeaways this season. And when you can get the ball away and score after doing that, it's a win-win. Herm, final one before we let you go, because I did want to ask you, one of the bigger topics and things that Jacksonville is upset about is Fred Taylor not being in that finalist group for the Hall of Fame yet. What are your thoughts on that when it comes to Fred?
Well, obviously he's worthy, and it's a hard room to get in, and sometimes you got to wait a long time. But his time will come, and that's and it's difficult. Great players, and I think if you follow the team, or if a player from your team is inducted into it, or you sit there and you wonder when is he going to get his shot. So it just sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you wish they'd induct more than they do at one time, but this is the way they do it. Just to be talked about in that manner says a lot about you as a player. And obviously, he'll get in.
Yeah, he deserves it. There's no question. Hey, Herm, as we let you wrap up here, are you still running backwards on the treadmill, buddy? Because I saw that article in Men's Health way back when, and guess what? I still run backwards on the treadmill because of that.
There you go. Yeah,
you still doing it? That was great tip, man. That was great for the thighs and everything.
Yeah, it's good for you, man. It keeps you balanced, too. It keeps you in proper balance. We live in a world where we always walk straight. And I always tell people, my whole life I was backing up. My backwards was better than forward for me in life because I played corner, right?
Yeah.
But I think when you can balance yourself, obviously, and I always tell people, hey, man, every once in a while, just go backwards on it.
Yep.
Just go backwards on it.
Got to be a little careful. I may fall. But
just hold on. Hold on.
Right.
Hold on to the rails.
All right.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right, Herm. Well, thank you so much for hopping on with us. We really appreciate your time. Happy New Year.
You guys have the same. Thank you.
Happy New Year, Coach. Great.
Good stuff. Yeah. I feel like we've talked about there are a lot of national people that are starting to turn towards believing in the Jaguars and respecting the Jaguars. Somebody on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures had just texted in that one of the outlets that ranks teams actually had the Jags at 1, but most of the ones you see right now have them in the top 5, at least in the NFL. So you're moving up in what people are respecting and seeing and understanding what the Jags are.
Yeah, I saw it ranked 2 in some publication today, this morning.
Sporting News is the one that has them at 1. So I'm sure there's some 2s in there, but at least in the top 5 we are seeing. So people are noticing. And
winning helps. Winning helps. Winning the division, it will open up a ton of eyeballs, and they'll be excited to watch in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. All right, I have a tangent on the other side, so we'll get to that. Coming up next on Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He's down on the ground. He is down.
A freak injury can wreck a football team and affect their championship dreams.
Wait, you're telling me I'm about to lose my number 1 wide receiver?
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
On 1010XL.
Life's full of thrills, like fixing what's broken and hearing it roar back to life. But for the accident attorneys at Farah and Farah, one thrill beats them all.
It's the thrill of the win. When the team moves as one, every hand, every step on point, putting in the hours, reviewing every detail, because the client deserves that. And when I've gotten to say, you're good, we've got it covered, that's the payoff. Yeah, we're built for that.
Call Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you.
It's December. You need cash. You also need a new Kia Fast. At Kia on Atlantic, you can get both because it's our year-end cash bash. And during the Kia Season of New Tradition sales event, make no payments for up to 6 months. Or take advantage of 0% APR. Hurry and get to the year-end cash bash. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 31st, 2017, the Cleveland Browns finished the season 0-16, becoming only the second team in NFL history to do it.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience.
They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
What race car driver won 27 times in one season?
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Richard Petty, the King, won 200 times in his career, including 27 times in 1967.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Ah, family's here. Ready for a perfect holiday?
Honey, the toilet's overflowing.
What? Now? With everyone here?
The sink's backed up too. Cool, it's like a water park in here.
Great! Best holiday ever.
Don't panic. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll fix it before we're swimming in mashed potatoes.
Got a holiday plumbing disaster? Call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing pros. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back into Helmets and Heels. Tom McManus is here, Taylor Dahl here, RJ Saunders here, and let's get to a Taylor's Tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
I'm going to continue on hyping up the quarterback here in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence.
Let's do it.
I just feel like I was hard on this man. I was very critical, rightfully so. I'm one of those people where I see all the people on Twitter being like, oh, where's all the Trevor haters at? I wouldn't have categorized myself as a Trevor hater because I always said, like, there's something there. I just need to see the consistency in it. Sure. That's always kind of been my thing. And I felt like at times we gave him a lot of excuses for things that other quarterbacks weren't getting in the NFL.
A lot of people did.
And I just wanted to see the consistency get there. And what I'm seeing right now has really flipped a lot of things. And that's fine. You're allowed to change your opinion on a person, on a team, as you get more information and as you see more things and as things start to change. And so it's been really, really fun for me to watch this Trevor trajectory in the final bit of in the last half of the season, because it's just, I've always felt it was there. I was always just like, why can't we see it in 4 quarters? Why does it feel like you see it in quarter 1 or 2 and then it falls out on the second half, or vice versa? It takes 3 quarters for him to start playing well, and you're seeing full games of football. You're seeing, and I used the term yesterday, this is his offense, and you feel like this is his offense, and he's taking grasp in it, and it's just so much fun to watch for me. But one stat I saw, Sleeper NFL posted this yesterday. So total touchdown leaders among quarterbacks this year so far through 17 weeks. Number 1, Matthew Stafford. We've talked about him a ton. He's insane. 42 total touchdowns on the season for him. Josh Allen is behind that with 39 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, 3rd most total touchdowns in the NFL through 17 weeks with 35. Behind that is Drake May with 34. Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts are tied at 33. Dak Prescott has 32. Bo Nix has 30. Caleb Williams has 29. Herbert with 28. And Mahomes with 27. So you're talking about a Stafford playoff quarterback, Josh Allen playoff quarterback, Trevor Lawrence playoff quarterback, Drake May playoff quarterback. Jared Goff, not a playoff quarterback. Jalen Hurts is. Dak is not. Bo is. Caleb is. Herbert is. Mahomes is not. So you have a long list. To only 2 of these guys out of the 11 are not in the postseason. If you want to see how much your quarterback means to your team, that is one of the biggest indications of this. It's also interesting, too, when you talk about just the older Matthew Stafford, and then you have that chunk of guys with the Josh Allen and a Trevor that are in this list, and obviously a Dak Prescott, but both, with Bo Nix and with Caleb Williams and some of these young guys coming in, Drake May, 3 young guys, year 2 guys on this list that are pretty improving and looking like they're playing more consistent. But we talk so much about the importance of a quarterback, and this is why this conversation happens every year.
Yeah, listen, I think with Trevor, I think it comes down to that they were very vocal about what they thought his flaws were, and then he worked his butt off to fix them. It just doesn't happen overnight. And he's always had the tools physically. Yeah. But you need more than just physical tools to be successful as a quarterback. He's always been physically tough. Yeah. But you need even more than that. You need the smarts. You need the mental side. You need the pre-snap. And I think that's what Liam has done. I mean, for Trevor to go up there and call his own play, basically, without the coach having to call it for him, just speaks volumes of the work that he's put in. That's work. Yep. That's studying. That's memorization. That's you all know out there when you have to study for a test and you got to memorize stuff. That's what we're talking about, and that's to the nth degree for a quarterback. They never stop learning. Because everything you get new wrinkles every week. You get new plays. You got to work on your weaknesses, and then by the way, you got to also continue to work on your craft, your mechanics, your footwork, your strength, all that stuff. If you don't believe me, go watch the first season of quarterback. Go watch what they do. Go watch what Mahomes does when he's away from the facility on his own. Go watch what Goff does with his wife going over plays. I mean, that's what it takes. You're the face. You're the franchise. They need you to be great. And listen, he showed glimpses up until this point, and now it's getting put all together. A lot of that is Liam. There's no doubt about it. But a lot of it is Trevor himself, because he put in the work, and you can tell the difference in his game.
And I like what Herm just said when he's talking about Trevor has the prototypical what you want of a quarterback when it comes to body style. His height, he's thicker, he's big, he has everything that you want in the quarterback of that. And we've said that forever. Like, here you have everything to be a successful quarterback when it comes to the tools, when it comes to the body type and all of that. We just always wanted to see the little extra work that maybe we've heard other times that, Trevor doesn't love football. Trevor doesn't put enough time into some of these things. And right now he's putting in the work. He's putting in the time, and you can tell it's showing on the field, and we're seeing it in wins. So it's just really fun to see right now. And I know a lot of people on the text line have started to shift too. A lot of the guys and girls that have been texting in saying, I'll never believe in Trevor, have been like, I was wrong, and I'll put my hand up that we're seeing a change.
Well, look at the defense. How many mental errors you seeing this year?
Yeah, not many.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
And last year was
because they're putting in the work.
Yeah, they're putting in the work, and the coaching are actually holding them accountable to the work.
Right.
That was something that I felt wasn't happening last year. I don't know why in December you were having the same missed tackle issues and assignment issues and all of that. The difference is these coaches in preseason were saying, this isn't going to cut it here. We're going to run 40 straight alignment assignment plays so you guys get this in your mind.
That's right.
And it's working.
Absolutely, it's working, and it's a great thing. And again, you only earn stuff in the NFL. Nothing's given to you. And nothing happens without reason in the NFL. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't, like magic dust, fairy dust. Boom, here we go. We're a championship team. No, man, it takes a lot of work and a lot of sweat, blood, and tears, belief, highs, lows, ups, and downs. That's not just inside the stadium either. That's at home.
Yep.
You don't think these players feel like crap when their wife's looking at them like, man, you didn't play very well this week. You know what I mean? And you're like, dang, I got my family.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I got my family after me, too. I better shape it up and get it going. But no, it is. That's why it's such an emotional game. It really is. And it's one of the most beautiful games ever invented.
It is. You know what else is beautiful? Free lunch. Tommy, let's get some free lunch to Chick-fil-A going. Give us a call at 641-1010. Caller number 4, you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A. So go ahead and give us a call to get some free lunch for yourself today. We will get to our picks. We're going to go ahead and pick our college games because we have those tonight and tomorrow. So we'll pick those on the other side. We also have a Tommy's Takeaway. So stick around and stay tuned for hour number 2 on Helmets and Heels coming up next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's been an amazing season under first-year head coach Liam Cohen, and it's time for a postseason tune-up against Tennessee. Activate maximum momentum and bring it to the bank. All aboard! Jaguars Titans, Sunday at 1 on Duval's home of the Jaguars. 1010XL. 10XL. 10XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Helmets and heels, provided by Green Law Group.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carline. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Best Bet is #1. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Happy holidays, Googans. Santa Dan here. It's the holiday season, and that means hopefully more off time with the fam. Need a solid gift idea for the spouse or a specific family member? Beaches Dermatology can ensure that your special someone gets a great gift that won't break the bank and won't go hidden in a drawer. Botox, skin treatments, you name it, they have it. Take care of that spouse of yours this holiday season with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at beachesdermatology.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you need a holiday gift idea, let Kuhn Flowers handle it for you. This is Frank Frangie with 1010XL. Simply go online to kuhnflowers.com and look at the wide variety of floral and plant arrangements that will make someone's day this holiday season.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more. We're talking a competitive, guaranteed base salary with bonus opportunity, comprehensive paid training programs, and promotions based upon performance and top shelf benefits. It's all waiting for you. Log on to floridahomeac.com/careers. Florida Home AC, equal opportunity employer.
It's the Jaguars' final home game of the 2025 regular season, and you don't want to miss it. Join us for our fan appreciation game as the Jaguars face off against the Tennessee Titans in a can't-miss division matchup. It's your chance to cheer on the team as they take the field in their Prowler throwbacks for one last time this season. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action. Go to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Merry Christmas from 1010XL.
This is Robin Sidbury from Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. Family owned and operated since 1986. We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy, safe, and prosperous New Year from our family to yours.
Hi, folks, it's Frank Frangie. All those festive holiday feasts probably have added a few extra pounds, but here's the thing. you can make this the year you finally lose the weight safely and for good. Now, you know by now my daughter Amber kicked off the journey with Awaken 180 weight loss back in the summer. You ready for this? She's lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Man, is she proud of that. 100 pounds. And she really did it with this really, really good plan. There's no shots, no medications, no supplements, just real food and a proven plan. That's right. With Awaken 180, you can still enjoy your favorite food and drink. No more yo-yo diets or feeling deprived. The structured program empowers you to control your eating without hunger. It really is doable. Don't just resolve to make the change. Make the change. Call Awaken 180 today and take that first small step. Book your consultation now, 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It worked for Amber. It really did. And it can work for you. Awaken 180 weight loss.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Zero Res. Former four-star Mandarin quarterback Tramel Jones Jr. announced he will be returning to Gainesville for his sophomore season with the Gators. Jones appeared in 2 games for the Gators this season, throwing for a total of 191 yards for 2 TDs, completing 12 of 18 passes. He was ranked as the number 49 overall recruit and number 4 quarterback coming out of high school in Florida. It's 53 degrees at 3:04. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air & Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
'Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart.
Kicking off hour 2 here on Helmets and Heels, Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders, and we have some picks to make because we do have a game tonight for college football that we want to pick, a game tomorrow that we want to pick, so we thought we'd go ahead and get these picks out of the way. We will pick our NFL on Friday when Lauren Brooks is back in studio with us, but we'll start here, Tom McManus, when you talk about college football, Miami, Ohio State for the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State 9.5 favorites.
I know.
In this game.
I know.
So pretty big spread for that one. How you feeling?
I tell you what, that's a lot of points to cover. I like Miami's defensive line a lot. Their old line is really good, but you got to say the same about Ohio State's offensive line. They're pretty darn good, too. I think Ohio State wins the game. I'm pulling for the Hurricanes, but I don't think they cover. So I'm gonna go with Miami on this one.
Yeah, I feel like the spread is so big to me, and I get it because I feel like they're talking about a Jeremiah Smith, and they're saying they're going to talk about what he can do offensively and what this Ohio State offense can do in general. But Miami's held 3 of their last 4 opponents to single-digit points, and none of their last 5 have scored more than 20. Yep. I've talked about it a few times the last couple weeks about how I really do feel like it's more of a trenches game. You're talking about Ohio State defensive line, Miami's offensive line, and then also vice versa.
Vice versa, yeah.
But to me, I feel like it's going to be more of a trenches game. I think we'll see a few of those big shots to Smith down the field, and you'll see a couple of those, but I do feel like Miami's going to be able to get to the quarterback enough and put some pressure to where maybe you're not seeing that as much. So I'm also going Miami. I think Ohio State wins, but I think Miami's able to cover the 9.5.
Knock the QB out of the game. I'm just saying. Get it?
Sure.
I'm just saying, not saying.
Just saying.
Out of
just
the game.
saying it. Yeah. All right. Lauren is out, so RJ will be reading her picks today for us. RJ, where is Lauren going for this game?
She is going with Miami.
Miami.
Okay.
All right. So Miami. Lauren has Miami cover with the 9.5. On Ohio State, so covering that. And I mean, I understand. I think when I was going and making my picks, I was going back and forth a few times. Like this Ohio State team, there's a reason that they just won the national championship this last year, and there's a reason that they're back in the running to possibly do it again because they have a lot of talent. And I think offensively, Miami hasn't quite seen a team like that. Yeah. And I don't think they've seen a defensive line like that Ohio State has. But it's just hard for me with that number. The number is what gets me.
Well, that and look, we went through. Remember, I was. During the break, I had written down all 4 teams, who they beat, when they were ranked, and you look at Indiana, you're like, Yeah, I mean, you beat Ohio State by 3.
Yeah.
But how good is Ohio State? I think they're good. Don't get me wrong. I think they're really good. And I can see them blowing it up, like, because, Jason Day's going to do that. He's going to be like, all right, I got to prove a point here. But I'll go back to Texas A&M. Miami went toe-to-toe with them, and with that quarterback and everything, held them to 3 points, right? I think Miami's got a good shot to win this game, but I do think Ohio State ends up winning it.
Yeah, so all of us have Miami, I think, because of that spread. I think if the spread was more like 6, I may have gone Ohio State, honestly, to cover something like that, but 9.5 is just too big for me. All right, we'll head over to the Rose Bowl and talk about Alabama, Indiana. Indiana favored. It was 7. Now today, when I last checked, it had shifted to 6.5. So we are going to go with that line. RJ, where is Lauren going with this one?
She's taking Indiana.
Indiana.
Okay.
All right, so Indiana covering the 6.5 for Lauren in this game. Tommy, how are you feeling?
This one I was going back and forth on, I think Indiana is a good football team. There's no doubt. I think they're going to be a physical football team. And Bama, look, they're normally pretty physical as well. But I'm going to go with Indiana on this one. I do think they cover. I just don't feel that great about Ty Simpson as a QB. I think Alabama's a a good team. I don't know about very good. They looked good last week, that's for sure. But I think at the end of the day, I think Indiana Hoosiers and their fate continues, and they win this ballgame.
Yeah,
and cover.
And cover. Okay, so I'm going to go Alabama. I think Indiana does win because I do think that they have something special. When you talk about Indiana last year, the whole argument going into the college football playoff was that they didn't play anybody, and who they shouldn't be in it was the original conversation, and that was kind of the strength of schedule and the preseason rankings and all of the things that happened. And they got a little lucky with their schedule last year. This year they've faced some tougher opponents, and they've been able to win some football games, and I think prove that they belong here. And so I will say that a lot of opinions have shifted to at least they belong here, where to last year the argument was that they didn't. And the same with Bama. Bama didn't make it last year. And Bama this year, a lot of people argued that Notre Dame should have been in instead of Alabama. And there was a lot of conversation with that. I do think that Indiana ends up winning this game, but I think it's closer. I think maybe like a field goal game, 3-4 points. So I'm going to say Alabama covers in this one. I just feel like I've seen some good football from Ty Simpson, and when he needs to make some big plays, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And to me, that's one of the things that will keep them in this game for the majority of the time.
Listen, I'll go back to watching the Indiana-Penn State game. I watched a good bit of that. That was a physical game at Penn State. It didn't look like Indiana was going to win.
Yeah.
Throws a pick late and then drives down the field. We remember the catch at the end, but the throws before then were absolutely insane. That just shows me a gritty football team. So I agree with you. I think they do cover, but I think Indiana does win the game.
So that is. So you are going Indiana.
I'm taking Indiana.
With 7. Or 6.5. So we'll go through that. Miami, Ohio State -9.5. We all have Miami. I think you and I think Ohio State wins, but Miami is able to cover. Lauren's not here. She just has them covering also. And then Bama, Indiana, that line has shifted to 6.5 today on Indiana's side. Lauren and Tommy both have Indiana. I have Bama covering on that one, but Indiana winning. So we'll see how that goes. We have football, a lot of football coming up. Talking about tonight, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So a whole lot of football. But now let's get to some Tommy's takeaways.
Let's do it.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
Yeah, my takeaway today is a little personal. My father, Gene, died on this day 30 years ago this morning. Got the call at 8 o'clock in the morning. And he had cancer, was diagnosed a month before. It took him in a month. It was absolutely just a crazy thing. It felt like a bad dream. And he's missed every single day. There's no doubt about it. But the takeaway is this. Look, we all have the opportunity to leave a great positive impact behind. And I don't care if it's for one person or 100 million people. You have the opportunity. And when someone can say after 30 years that they still love and miss and think about him every single day, you did it right. You did it right. Now, he was my father, so I always say, thanks for doing it right, Dad. He brought me up the right way. I raised my kids the way you raised me. I love my wife the way I saw you love my mother. I'm I'm who I am partially because of you and Mom, of course. But it's really important, I think, in this life here on Earth to leave a positive impact as much as you can, whether it's your son or daughter, a friend, an uncle, whatever. We're a stranger. You're right, Taylor. Just, you know what? That's a good thing to do on this earth. And that's my takeaway today, brought to you by J-Dog, Junk Removal and Hauling. I miss Dad. Dad, I miss you every day, man. You were the best. I mean, this guy, tough and caring. Tough, and just think about that. Tough, like you wouldn't want to mess with him, but caring because he would give the shirt off his back to just about anybody, man. That's the kind of guy he was. So I'm very fortunate to say I'm the son of not only an American hero because he fought for our country in World War II, but the son of just a great dad in Gene McManus.
Beautifully said, Tommy. I live every day, and I've been very passionate about this for as long as I can remember, of trying to make somebody smile every day, and as a even a stranger, somebody at work, whatever. So I just feel like you never know what anybody's going through on a daily basis, and that one extra bit of kindness or a laugh or whatever really can impact people's lives a lot. And we talk about it, the daily people, your parents and your brothers and sisters and people you work with, but even to strangers, it's so important to just be kind.
Just think about this. I don't care what car they're driving, what house they live in, anything. Everybody's got something going on in their life that is tough, that is troubling. So just remember that.
Yep. Be kind. Be gentle. You never know. So we have some more stuff coming up. I want to get a little bit more into some Jaguars storylines and the playoff storylines that may be interesting. Maybe some weaknesses that people see in some of these playoff teams. We'll get into some of that coming up next here on Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Bone crunching, field flipping, game-changing plays. After the game, catch the superior fence and rail defensive player of the game on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember when the Jaguars upset the Denver Broncos in the 1996 divisional round as a 14-point underdog and launched them into the AFC Championship? Well, you know who won't upset you? The team at Coil Fencing. Coil is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has been serving the Jacksonville community for nearly 100 years. From sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love to tough chain link for your commercial project, Coil does it all. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's COILE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Chick-fil-A Catering is here to help make it a little easier to bring your family together this holiday season. Whether you need a full meal, a side dish, or dessert, choose from a variety of trays like Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and brownies, perfect for any size get-together. And you can easily order through the Chick-fil-A app. Place your order in the app, online, or by calling ahead, then pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Take one thing off your plate this holiday season and bring the smiles to your family gathering with Chick-fil-A. Availability and order requirements may vary. See restaurant for details.
Helmets and Heels. Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Hayes Carline is our special agent. He goes into the locker room to uncover insights about your favorite football team. His mission is to bring it back to you on 1010XL. Special ops support by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
In Northeast Florida, power outages are unavoidable, but losing comfort, security, and peace of mind doesn't have to be. With a Generac home standby generator from American Electrical Contractors, your power comes back on automatically the moment an outage begins. As Jacksonville's leading and one of the longest-running Generac dealers, American Electrical Contracting has the experience you deserve. Be prepared. Protect your home and family. Protect your business. Generac standby generators from American Electrical Contractors. Call 737-7770 or online at american-electrical.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family-owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
So we're seeing Iowa football score a lot of points right now.
I tell you, SEC's having some trouble. Oh, they all opted out. Yeah, right.
Join a conference.
That's what we're going to hear. That's what we're going to hear.
So 34-24 right now, Iowa up on Vandy. So, yeah, I had a friend text me and say, I haven't seen Iowa score this many points offensively since I was in middle school. So,
no doubt.
Yeah, interesting one going on there. We just picked our, for the Miami-Ohio State game, Bama-Indiana game, a lot of good games coming up. We have football Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So a lot of football coming up. This is a fun time of year if you're a football fan. Tommy, so I saw something earlier, and I wanted to get just some of your reactions and thoughts on this as we're talking about the playoff teams, as we're talking about the Jags and who we want to play. We went over some of the scenarios yesterday of who they would face off against, depending on if they win the division, if they don't win the division, what that looks like. But so I saw this on ESPN. They had the concerning weaknesses and flaws of the playoff team. So they go through all of the playoff teams and talk about, what their biggest flaw they feel like is. And they also put a Super Bowl chance in this. But I wanted to start off with the Jaguars because I feel like that's our biggest topic when we're talking about here. So they have right now the FPI chance to win the Super Bowl only at 5.3% at this point of time. And their concerning weakness is the run game they mentioned. And we've talked about this a little bit about how the run game has definitely not been as good as it was in the beginning of the season when you're talking about yards per carry, when you're talking about yards per game, when you're talking about all of the things that you've kind of seen. And we've mentioned it of, okay, some of it is maybe the run blocking isn't as good as it was in the beginning of the season, but also they've been throwing the ball so well and Trevor's been playing so well. Are they not leaning into the run? Are they not having to run like they did in the beginning of the season? But I'll just read what they said in this. So the Jaguars are red hot right now with a 7-game win streak. Their passing game has been on fire since they've gotten Jacoby Myers, and quarterback Trevor Lawrence is playing at the top of his game. The Jaguars ranked 21st in pass offense, DVOA, through week 9. But if people do not know what DVOA is, that calculates everything. That talks about decision making, that talks about turnovers, that talks about drops, that talks about penalties, that talk every single category you can put on an offense, and it also dictates it to your opponent. So if the strength of that defense is a bad defense, so certain things are worth less or worth more for better defenses. So it's a very intricate number, and it's been almost to a T the last few Super Bowl years of having the best DVOA teams in at least the conference championship games. So the Jaguars ranked 21st in pass offense DVOA through week 9, but since week 10 they're 5th. So it went from 21st to 5th since week 9. However, the run game has completely slowed down. Jacksonville ranked 6th in DVOA through week 9, but that has now dropped to 26th since week 10, not including scrambles. The Jaguars have dropped from 4.5 yards to 3.7 yards per carry since week 10. They talk about, Bashal Tutin being out and get with that finger injury and how that may affect things. But Jacksonville really needs to be better at blocking to stay on schedule when it comes to running the ball. The Jags will need to produce on the ground against defenses like that of the Chargers or Bills if they're going to be better against the pass than the run.
Yeah, I mean, look, we kind of talked about a little bit last week about the yards per carry with ETN. Now, last week he was great at 4 and a hook against the Colts, but prior to that, it was 4 games of 2.3, 3.7, 2.7, 3.1. But here's the thing. I think with our running backs, anyway, especially with ETN, you have to factor in his receptions because it's an extension of a run game to a certain degree, and especially the screen game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's what's brilliant about ETN and brilliant about Liam Cohen's offense is is, okay, you want to shut our running back down a little bit? Well, we're going to get him out in the open field in the passing game, and he's going to hurt you that way. So we'll take the production however we get it, but the running game definitely has to be better as we get – look, I know everyone talks about quarterbacks, and it's right. It's absolutely true. But if you don't stop the run and run the football in the playoffs, you're going to have a tough time winning.
Yeah.
Could you get into a shootout? Of course you can. But when a team has a lead and they're pounding the rock and you can't stop them, it's over.
When your defense is exhausted,
It's
hands
over.
on knees. Yeah.
Forget about it.
We
The
saw that
daggers in
in
there.
the Philly-Kansas City Super Bowl is the prime example
Yeah,
of
exactly.
that. When you talk about rushing the passer, stopping the run, and the other team being able to run the ball was a huge factor in what
Massive.
happened in that game. Some of the other AFC South teams, we'll talk about these. Obviously, the Jags just beating the Broncos on the road. This is a team that still a lot of people say, oh, okay, it was a little bit of fluke. Clearly, through this, the FPI chance to win the Super Bowl for them is 12.1%.
Okay.
So the Jags were that 5 point whatever. Their concerning weakness, they say, is defending slot receivers. Denver has one of the best defenses this season, led by a vicious pass rush. That led the league in 64 sacks. However, if opponents can get a pass off, they can take advantage of the Broncos slot cornerbacks, Jaquan McMillan and Jahdae Barron, which I think we definitely saw that when the Jags were facing them. Denver ranks only 27th in DVOA against passes to slot receivers, allowing 7.6 yards per attempt. So if you have a team that has that slot guy, that is your way to take advantage of the Denver Broncos. And I think you can say the Jaguars know that. Now other teams may be able to figure that out.
Well, what did Parker do? 6 for 145
Yeah,
and a
that's what I'm
touchdown.
saying.
Now, a lot of yak, but still,
Yeah.
he was out of that slot position. So that makes a lot of sense. I still, and I don't watch every week, but Bo Nix, if he's on, he's good.
Yeah.
But I think you
There's
can
a lot
get
of
to
not
him.
on moments.
I think you can rattle him a bit, and that's where the problem is for them. I think they're pretty sound overall. But what you're saying, you can't deny, at least against us. I mean,
Yeah.
it was 24.5 average catch for Parker. So, and he normally is out of that slot
Yeah.
position. So that makes a lot of sense.
The New England Patriots, a team that I think a lot of people still hesitate about, and mainly because of their schedule. You talk about they've only beaten one team above 500, so that's going to be the conversation. That's something that they probably, when you talk about fire in this locker room of people not believing, the Patriots and Mike Vrabel are probably having that conversation right now. Nobody believes in you because of the teams you've beaten, and so that'll be part of it. Their FPI chance to win the Super Bowl right now is 6.4%, so slightly higher than the Jaguars. Their concerning weakness, they say, is Drake May after his first read, they say, which we've had that conversation here about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
But, of course, May is leading the MVP candidate votes right now when it comes to the odds. So it's hard to find holes in his game, they say. But there is one. FTM data tracks whether quarterbacks throw to their first read. On first read throws, May ranks 5th in DVOA. However, after that first read throw, he drops to 22nd. So the problem is getting him off that first read, forcing him to have to go some of those progressions, and that's where it seems like the weakness for the Patriots offense is.
Yeah, I can see that. That we've seen that here, like you said. I'll say this about the Pats and their record against the opponents. They're third in point differential in the entire league. They're number one in the AFC by about 40 points. So just so you know. So even though their record, who they went against, might not be as good, but they're taking care of business the way they should. I think May is kind of hitting his stride. I mean, that game last week, I know everyone nationally, 5 times. Well, yeah, Trevor did it too. Don't forget about that. But that's not about Trev. It's about Drake May playing really well, and I think they're playing pretty well right now. I think the problem with the Patriots isn't on the field. It feels like it's off.
There's some
There's some assault and battery charges going on around a couple different players.
Diggs, and then they just announced
Christian
today
Barmore.
Yeah.
Now, that was from an August 8th incident, so it's coming out now. But, man, that's the last thing you want as a team or organization going into the postseason with this kind of negativity.
I feel like that's what happened with the Hernandez thing, too. It was announced right before one of the postseasons. But, yeah, an interesting note related to the Jags when it comes to the Broncos. We just mentioned those first read, the first read issues with Drake May. So it says among the AFC playing qualifiers, there are only two teams that are above average at getting the opposing quarterbacks off their first read: Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right. That means you got to make a move, and you got good, sticky coverage on that first read. Good. That's the way to do it.
Buffalo Bills, this is one that I think all of us are like, oh, you don't know if you want to face the Bills right away just because of Josh Allen and the experience. And you talk about all of those things. Their FPI chance to win the Super Bowl, though, is 5.9%. So they don't have a lot of faith in that. Their concerning weakness is the run defense, they say. It's pretty clear to beat the Bills, you must run on them. Buffalo's undersized defense ranks 31st in run defense DVOA. It's a particular type of run that works best. Nope, they all work against the Buffalo Bills this season against runs marked by FTN data as man blocking. The Bills allow the league worst 5.8 yards per carry and are 29th in DVOA. Against runs marked as zone blocking, the Bills are better in yards per carry at 4.9, which is 29th, but worse in DVOA at worst in the league.
Which means, like, in theory, we just pound the football and win this football game. But when you got Josh Allen on the other side, he can take over.
Yeah.
You've seen him take over, and he can at least keep you. He showed it last week. He didn't play his best football last week, but he kept them in the game and let them back, and, of course, missed a two-pointer. But that was a pretty good Philadelphia Eagle team.
Yeah, they're getting better. They're hitting their stride
too. So
Black Friday maybe woke them up a little bit.
Yeah, and look, again, like I said yesterday with Beast, when you hit the playoffs, forget all the stats. Yeah. Just get rid of them. They don't matter anymore because you're starting fresh, and anything can happen. And look, as a former backer, like, you can get good at stopping the run pretty quick. Yeah. It doesn't, mean that if I didn't stop it the last 3 weeks or 4, doesn't mean I can't this week.
Once the postseason hits.
Absolutely.
Hacker and I were talking about that when he was with me last week, and so you're with 2 weeks still left in the season. Hacker's like, if you really think about it, you got 3 wins and you're in the Super Bowl because the Jags had already clinched the postseason at that point. So if you're thinking about it that way, you win 3 playoff games and you're in the postseason once you clinch the playoffs. The Houston Texans, that's one that we will be keeping a close eye on. Their chance to win the Super Bowl at 5.8%, and they're not even in the playoffs technically.
Wow.
Well, they are in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're the 17th.
Yeah.
So their concerning weakness, it says, is offensive line. Imagine that. It's a conversation we've had for a couple years for them now. But their offensive line ranks 30th in pass block win rate, 55.4%, and 32nd in run block win rate at 68.3%. That has not been improved over the course of the season. Since week 10, the Texans are 31st in pass block win rate, and they slightly improved to 30th in run block win rate. So in addition, when you talk Ursery, their left tackle and left guard, Titus Howard, are among the most penalized players in the league, so you can take advantage of them in that area too. It's a conversation we've had all year. So I know a lot of people nationally and in Houston, if you're talking about that, an offensive line that is the worst and second worst in the NFL, you have to give their offense credit for being able to do what they have this last 8 weeks then too.
Absolutely. Stroud's played better. I'm not totally sold on him. I obviously after his first year, everyone thought he was the next great coming of everything, and then he settled down a bit. I'll tell you, their biggest weakness is not having Joe Mixon on the field.
Big time.
Would you imagine if he was on the field for them? Now their running backs are fine, but he's different. He's a game breaker. He can catch the ball in the backfield.
Yeah, I like
very physical, very tough runner, so he could give you some problems. I think they've missed him a ton.
Yeah, we do have to hit break, but I'll read the couple other ones. The Chargers, another team that we talk about. We've beat here several times, but a lot of people still have them. They actually have a less chance for the Super Bowl than the Jags. They're at a 4.7. Their concerning weakness they have is covering tight ends. The Chargers ranked just 27th in DVOA against tight ends, and that hasn't gotten better in the season at all. Opposing tight ends have a 77% catch rate against the Chargers since week 9. The Chiefs, Travis Kelce, and the Eagles, Dallas Goedert, each had 70-yard games against them. And the problem when you talk about the Derwin James, but rather than the Chargers end up with a linebacker in coverage a lot of times, and so they're going to need to avoid that in the postseason and figure something out to be able to cover those tight ends.
Their weakness is they're afraid of the Jaguars.
They are afraid.
They're ducking us is what they're doing, man. They don't want to play us again, that's for sure.
Baltimore Ravens, 4.3%. Passing in the red zone is their weakness. The Ravens have been awful this season when the field is condensed and there's less room to work with. Quarterback Lamar Jackson has been particularly bad, ranking last in both passing DVOA and EPA per drop back in the 20 inside the 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So some interesting notes to come this weekend as we kind of finalize the playoff, the bracket, and what everything looks like. But let's cool down on the other side. We'll do that coming up next on Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This Sunday, we blitz the bank. All week week long, listen for the Blitz the Bank sounder and text the keyword BLITZ for your shot at tickets to see the Jags take down the Titans.
641-1010.
It's a Jags ticket blitz. Let's fill the seats and blitz the bank.
It's an all-out blitz
all week on 1010XL. Or buy tickets now at jaguars.com/tickets.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
Helmets and heels.
Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Checkmate.
I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, adorable mascot for Checkmate Coatings.
If you're thinking of refinishing your garage floor, there's 2 things you need to know about us. My family has been in the concrete coatings industry for more than 40 years.
And I was drawn 6 months ago by an artist in New Jersey.
Why is that even relevant?
Well, you said 40 years experience, so I had to give them something.
Over the years, we've worked closely with major manufacturers to develop a multi-layer application process that creates beautiful, durable, and long-lasting floors.
So even decades from now, your garage floor will look as gorgeous as it did the day it was installed.
Experience?
Check. Durable?
Check. Decades of experience making garage floors gorgeous? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Cersei here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Duval Fence is looking for the best in fence installers. Check out DuvalFence.com right now and fence in a great job opportunity. From estimates to installers, they're looking for you right now. Log on to DuvalFence.com for all the details. Equal opportunity employer.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
I'm going to cool down with saying Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for always listening. We've gotten a lot of support on Helmets and Heels for a long time, and it continues to grow. The amount of people when we're out that will come up and talk about how they love the show, and they love the show with Tommy on it, and how much fun it is, and like we have a good time too.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to say Happy New Year and thank you to everybody for another great year and always listening. But I also want to say be safe and take an Uber. It's one of it's every day you need to. I always say take an Uber. I have the Uber membership because I use Uber so much on the weekends. I never want to drive, obviously, when you're partaking in anything, but especially tonight, be extra careful. There's a lot, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of drinking involved all over the city. There's crazy people with fireworks all over the place, so be careful with that too. But just be safe out there.
There's an Uber membership?
Yeah, there is.
Really?
So you pay like a certain amount a month, and then you end up after so many rides, you get a free ride, or you'll get discounts for stuff.
All right.
Holidays, you'll get stuff.
Huh.
And I use Uber Eats too. So this is not an endorsement for Uber. They do not pay me, but I use Uber Eats too, so you get discounts through the Uber Eats. So worth it if you use those often.
We're getting a ride tonight too, and we're staying local. Like we're not even going that far. Like maybe I could walk to both parties that we're going to, but hopefully I won't have to walk home. I won't. Actually, the second one's right around the corner, so it'll be awesome. We will be walking home. But I echo your sentiment, man. It's been a great year. To join this show has been awesome. It's been a lot, and we do have a lot of fun, man. We're laughing on the air. We're laughing in between breaks. It's a good time, and we do appreciate all the support. And just a reminder, you can always approach.
Yeah,
you can always.
I
don't care. Just always say hello, man. I love saying hi to people.
I do. I love talking to people, and especially this time of year, Tommy. There's been a lot of people that come up and just want to talk Jags, and it's like I'm never sick of talking about football or the Jaguars. So come up and chat with me, ask questions, share your opinions. I love it. Sometimes I'll have a conversation with somebody. I'll be like, I never really thought about it that way. Let me take that on air this next week.
Of course,
and it gives us just, a different perspective sometimes of the fan base of what you see when it comes to the Jags or the NFL in general.
I'll tell you just a funny quick story. I'll never forget this. It was so long ago, and I don't know who said it to me, but we were at a party or something, or a soccer game or something. This guy was telling me how great of a running back he was in Pop Warner. And I was like, Pop Warner? You're going back to Pop Warner? He's like, you should have seen me, man. Okay.
Right now, he could get NIL deals.
That's right. Exactly right. Exactly. But no, man, we love the people of Jacksonville. Why a lot of us former Jaguars have stayed here. It's the people, man. It's the climate. It's a great place to raise a family and all that. But it's the people, no doubt.
Coach Ingram obviously comes on with Prime Time every week. He'll always come in and chat with me in the office too about usually both the Jags and the Bears. Like we'll talk about the Jags game for a little bit, and then he'll be like, "Oh, but Caleb this game," or whatever the case may be. And we were chatting a little bit about both games, and then he goes, "Did you play sports growing up?" And I was like, "I actually did." And I was like, "I played volleyball and basketball until like 10th grade, and then I tore ligaments in my ankle really bad, and I couldn't play for the rest of the season. And by that time, I got a boyfriend that summer, and sports were in the back of my mind."
That's all it took?
That's it. One boyfriend.
One boyfriend.
One
got you
injury,
off the track.
one boyfriend. It was more the injury. I was very frustrated, and I didn't listen to the doctor and do the things I still have issues with my ankle now.
I didn't do it right. Those things, man. There's no doubt.
So I was telling him, and he was asking. He goes, "Oh, so when did you graduate high school?" And I was like, "I graduated from Mandarin in 2009." And he was like, "2009? I thought you were like 24." And I'm like, "Well, thank you, but no, I just turned 35." But thanks, Coach Ingram.
2009.
Yeah,
Holy moly.
2009.
That's not too that long ago there, Taylor.
Well, it feels like a long time ago now.
I bet it does.
I want to loop back around to some of the conversation we were having earlier, Tommy, about the Jags and the weekend. This week we'll be back on Friday. Lauren Books will be back on Friday, so we'll break down that game. We'll have the opposing sound, and we'll talk to somebody from the Titans when we address get a little bit more depth when it comes to the Jags Titans game this weekend and that division that you're looking towards. But you and I were chatting a little bit on break about some of the things, like if there is a concern. The Titans aren't a very good team. When you look at all the numbers overall for the season, they're last in almost everything, and so it doesn't feel like it's a team where you're shaking in your boots, but it's also a team that you don't want to overlook because you never want to overlook any team in the NFL. And the Titans are 2-2 in their last 4 games. And so there are some things that they've improved on throughout the year. But when we were chatting, is there anything to you that you feel like if there's one thing that you are looking at the Titans, like make sure this one thing doesn't happen?
Don't let Tony Pollard get going, and don't let Jeffrey Simmons wreck the day.
Yeah.
He's got 10 sacks. He's an absolute beast, 3 technique of a defensive tackle, and he can definitely ruin your day. And Pollard lately has been doing pretty well.
Yes, yeah.
And he's got some speed, so he can take it if he gets an opening. So, look, we just got to play our game. I'll go back. Remember my old 8th grade coach saying you don't lose to Francis Borgia? Well, it's the same kind of thing, man. You don't lose to the Tennessee Titans this year. But here's the reality. Tony Pollard can hurt you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Ward, although sacked 55 times, only has 7 picks.
Yeah.
Which says something,
ball,
right?
yeah.
Like he protects the ball, making
He's
smart
not making
decisions.
forcing bad decisions
Right.
when he's getting hit.
Absolutely.
And that's what one of the things that because I went back and I was looking at his numbers. So pre-Jags, pre the first time the Titans played the Jags, he had at that point 766 yards. 736. He had 2 touchdowns. I'm trying to remember what it is. So the previous to the Jags, he had 7 touchdowns, 6 picks, and then since then now has 8 touchdowns and 1 pick
right.
during that time.
Yeah.
So the picks have gotten better. He's not making the mistakes he was earlier, but he's also improved in touchdowns because that's 8 touchdowns in 4 games compared to the 10 or 11 weeks previous to that.
Look, they beat. Now I actually called it. I just felt like they were going to beat Kansas City. Now Kansas City's not having a good year at all.
Yeah.
But they beat them by like 34-20. I mean, it was a pretty good outing by Tennessee.
Scraping by.
No, it wasn't. And I know it was at home, so a little bit different. Again, I'm not really like last week. I wasn't worried about losing. I just didn't feel like we were just going to go out there and dominate and win by 20 or 30 points, which is hard to do. Don't get me wrong. But this week I feel not the opposite, but pretty close. We should handle Tennessee. Now, here's the thing, though, okay? They want to spoil.
Mm-hmm.
They know you need this win to win the division outright. They want to spoil it. They don't like us. We don't like them. They have enough good players to win the game if you don't play your game.
Yeah.
That goes with almost any NFL team if you don't show up, which I expect us to show up. I mean, look what happened to the Rams just Monday night.
The Falcons.
I mean, the Falcons, they've had their ups and downs, but overall, not a very good season. Yeah. And they took care of business. I mean, Bijan was unbelievable. They couldn't stop him. And Stafford was good, but not as good as he's been in the past, So you just never know. But again, I expect us to handle the Tennessee Titans. I expect us to that Liam Cohen and company will have their head on straight, not looking ahead, not getting a big head. We haven't done anything yet. Yeah. Our goal is to win the division. Let's take care of that. We'll celebrate that, and then we'll get back to work for the playoffs.
Yeah, to your point about Tony Pollard, though, when you look at his numbers for this season, real quick before we go to break. So when you talk about the beginning up to that Jags game, so he had 1 game with 92 yards. Outside of that, it was a few 60-yard games, a 30-yard, an 18-yard, a couple 20-yard games, and that whole time he had 2 touchdowns. Since the Jags game in the last 4 weeks, he has 3 touchdowns and has a 161-yard game, 104, 102, and 85. Yeah. So he's definitely playing better. Whatever that means, I don't know if the offensive line has improved in some of the run blocking areas, if all of a sudden he's turned up a notch. It's the defenses. It could be. It's the Saints, the Chiefs, the Niners, and the Browns have a decent defense, but not the best. But the other 3 have bad defenses this season. So maybe it's some of that. But it is something to pay attention to. When you talk about a Pollard, you talk about a Jeffrey Simmons.
Look, we shut down Jonathan Taylor twice.
Oh, yeah.
So that says a lot about our run defense. Granted, they didn't have a quarterback. I get it. But in both times, because Daniel got hurt early. But at the end of the day, you took care of them. And they're a good offensive line. No question about it. So I look at that and be like, our no running back other than maybe King Henry, Derrick Henry might give us some problems. He gives everybody problems, but I don't expect any offense to really, hurt us with their running offense. But they can if you don't show up.
Yeah. All right, let's say hey to the Frangie Show on the other side as Hayes and Hacker will say hello to us. We'll do that on Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com. Blitz.
How good is that? How good is that?
Bang.
How good is that?
Text Blitz to 641-1010 now.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here for the best weight loss program that I've ever done. And look, 2026 is on the horizon. If it's time for you to drop the weight like it was for me, book your consultation with Awaken 180 right now. Don't wait till all the New Year's resolutions start. You can start when you're ready, but go ahead and talk to the great folks of Awaken 180. As I tell you guys, I lost over 100 pounds. There was no shots, there was no medication, there was no supplements. You follow the great, tremendous coaching you get every week with the great folks of Awaken 180, and the weight falls off. They coach you up, they give you the tools you need to drop the weight that you need to drop. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800 and get involved with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Merry Christmas from 1010XL.
This is Robin Sidbury from Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. Family owned and operated since 1986. We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy, safe, and prosperous New Year from our family to yours.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Into Helmets and Heels, wrapping things up here on a New Year's Eve. I'm joined by Tom McManus. RJ Saunders is here. Lauren is out today, so just us two today. It was fun getting ready to say hello to 2026, Tommy.
Yeah, no doubt. I always like the new year. You know, it's a good time of the year, and again, you can reset a little bit, write some stuff down. You know, what you want to accomplish. You don't even have to make them resolutions. It's like, what do you want to do in 2026? Make someone smile every day?
Yep.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Maybe you want to do something in business. Maybe you want to start a new venture. You only live once. I mean, I've been living that for a long time, man. Like, it's true. And I think ever since I hit 50, it's even more so. Like, I know I'm not going to 100. I doubt I'm going to make it to 100. So I know I'm on the downward slope. Mm-hmm. I don't know how steep it is. Only the good Lord knows that, you know what I mean? But to me, I'm going to live it to the fullest every single day. Yeah. And I will say this. Everybody deserves to be happy. Mm-hmm. And you really should try to bring that into your life, personally, not with the help of anybody else. You know what I mean? Just you being happy with yourself. I wish in the 2026 everybody can find that internal happiness. Because I tell you what, when you do, you walk totally different.
Oh, yeah.
You
big
live
time.
totally different.
Yeah, the internal happiness may be easier when the Jaguars win football for some people.
For some people, yeah, no doubt. For my blood pressure, there's no question about that. Jeez.
I have some friends that just don't care about football. Like, they'll watch and they'll have fun at games and whatever, but they're not sad or mad or happy or whatever after a game. And I always think it must be nice to have not be emotional every week and not have your blood pressure spike. But at the same time, you also don't have the joyous moments that we have too, and watching certain games and clinching the division and winning playoff games, and those moments also are so special. And those are I was thinking about that this last week. Of you remember the why, like why you do this, why you played football, why I talk about football, why you watch football with your family, and you start thinking about the love you have for the game and how much it means to you. And like those moments of joy make it worth it of the pain that you have suffered and the other moments of football.
I will say this: my Mondays. When I rewatch film, my wife hasn't heard an F-bomb in a long time. I'll tell you that. Not yelling
She's
at
like,
the TV.
it must be going good in there.
I haven't broken any glasses
Love
lately.
it.
It's been a long time. So happiness in the home.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's say hello to Hayes Carline.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, the joyous moments of looking to win the division this weekend and already clinching the playoffs, taking over some of the sadness that has happened in the past. That's the conversation.
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
I still it still feels like there's a surreal element to this. It's one thing if they'd won like gone 9-8, maybe gotten in, that maybe you could have seen. I mean, they might win 13 games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. And the complementary football, how they've weaved it all together so well. And it's incredible. I mean, and everybody deserves a ton of credit for it.
No doubt about it. Who's the most dangerous team in the AFC, do you think?
The Jaguars.
You think the Jaguars?
I do,
Number
just
one.
because they've got the hottest quarterback, and they stop the run at an elite level. So, I mean, I think objectively, you'd have to give it to them.
More do you
mean,
need?
particularly with like Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the best player on the AFC side of things, but he's like 70% of himself right now.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he gets hit, he's grabbing at the ankle and limping off the field, and it's hard. Wouldn't it be stunning, in your opinion, if he was like 100% in 10 days?
Oh, no, he won't be.
Yeah.
He won't be. But the adrenaline will kick in. He can still hurt you.
Sure. I mean, that's the thing. Like 70% of him is still a good player.
Yeah.
But there is a difference.
No doubt.
And you're seeing it in his play. He's still good, but he's not unbelievably unstoppable
You're right.
like he was last year. So, yeah, I'd give it to the Jaguars. So we got a great Frangie show coming up. Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year to everybody. Hacker is sitting in for Frank. We've got JJ back, so we appreciate RJ filling in the last couple days. And busy day in the locker room today. Liam Cohen didn't meet with reporters because he was sick, unfortunately, but Trevor Lawrence met with the reporters. We'll certainly go through that. And I had a chance to catch up with Jarian Jones and Devon Hamilton. So since we're off tomorrow, we'll play both of those today. So should be a lot of fun coming up on the Frangie Show.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
All right.
great.
Thank
Can't
you,
wait to
guys.
listen.
All
Thanks,
right.
Hayes. Happy New Year. All right. That does it for us today. Thank you to Herm Edwards earlier. A lot of good stuff for there. And to Lauren Brooks, who's off today, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Taylor Dahl. Happy New Year, everybody.
New Year.
And be safe out there. We will see you in 2026.